Hi everyone, welcome to Artists of the Way. I'm Nate, and this here is
Jon?
Hey Jon, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Nate?
Good. We are excited to have you here on the first episode of the podcast in
2.0.
the new format.
New format.
That's right, where we have segments, baby.
Woo! I don't know what this was.
That's punching.
Punch in the air. I'm so excited for segments.
So, new segments beyond not segments that we had before.
Structure.
We got structure.
It'll help you. It'll be fun.
We'll see.
There's nothing more fun in life than structure.
Yep. And you won't believe this, we're already in the first segment.
We are?
Opening the podcast.
Hey! Should we
Good.
move on to the next segment?
Let's do it.
Consume. Nom, nom, nom.
Jon,
Yes.
what's something that you consumed recently?
The one that I keep coming back to is Wake Up Dead Man, which I watched.
Oh, you watched that?
I watched it in like the last week of 2025, and I think it's my favorite movie of 2025.
Really?
It was incredible.
Really?
The mystery was maybe not. So for you, those of you who don't know, it's the third of the Knives Out movies.
Yeah.
It's a Netflix exclusive. Sad.
Was it in theaters at all?
I feel like it maybe had a limited run.
It's sad to me how so many interesting things are just not in theaters.
Yeah, and are locked behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Physical medium needs to make a comeback.
Yeah.
But
Where we didn't have to pay for things.
I know. Well, but it was.
It wasn't a
different.
wall. Though.
Yeah, it wasn't a wall. It was like a pay bridge.
Yeah. It's better.
It was. But the mystery was maybe not as good as the other Knives Out movies, but the characters and the story was excellent, and its depiction of a priest was fantastic.
Really? I knew it had some religious themes.
It does. It has a brilliantly, on just a writing, story, and like scene setup level, a brilliant climax.
Really?
Especially from a theological and dramatic perspective, like
Really?
theodrama, like
Theodrama.
brilliant, just
Wow.
amazing. Rian Johnson, who's the director, I watched some interviews. He apparently has in the past been a very devout Christian, so he really understands it. He's unfortunately drifted away from that.
Oh.
But he was like, I do really want to create something that captures the best parts of this faith that I held to. And I think he succeeded.
Nice.
It's phenomenal. And it's just the struggle of the main character, I think, has just been sort of echoing in my mind and sort of, I don't know. I think he has some questions about calling throughout the film, and I think it's been helpful for me to just sort of narrow back in on like what is a calling to ministry, and what can that look like in a person's life, and what is the posture we ought to have as Christians and those called to ministry, which really is every Christian. But I've had this sense of calling for a while, and so it just hit me there, and it was really great. So
Nice.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
yeah, you
I
should.
don't have a Netflix subscription.
You do?
Not.
Oh, well, come on over and we'll show it to you.
All right.
Yes.
That's great.
What have you been consuming? What's something you've consumed recently?
As you started talking, I realized I don't know that I picked something.
Which is fine.
But I actually started a book today.
Yes, what book?
Everlasting Man by G.K.
Oh,
Chesterton.
I've tried to start that many times.
Yes, I have. This is my second maybe time.
I believe in you.
Thank you. I'm listening to it, and my brother-in-law started listening to it,
Okay.
and he told me that, and we decided we'd have a little book club.
Oh, nice.
And so that's cool.
That's cool.
And so I got through the introduction and part of the first chapter.
Did you in
today.
a lot of book clubs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Including we got a book club here. If you listen to that
Uh-huh.
last episode, you know that's coming. But it's a cool premise for a book in that Chesterton really wants to his readers to be able to look at the world and Christianity specifically with fresh eyes. He talks about like that that the critics of Christianity aren't really outside of Christianity. They're not the devotees of it that they can see the beauty of it because they're inside of it, but they're also not far enough removed to look at it objectively because they still live in a world which was made by Christianity. And
their lives have been touched by it in some way, good or bad.
Yeah, and so often their view of it is not really fair in his mind, but that they should
not
be
like objective.
Not objective. But he says like they should be looking at Christianity as if it was this like foreign thing, like from another part of the planet, like Confucianism. Yeah. Or he gives an example of like people look at a horse, and there are those people who like have horses, and horses are beloved to them, and so they really appreciate them. And then there's people who just have gotten used to horses being a thing and are just like a slower version of a car. Yeah. But he was like, but what if we imagine horses as the monster that they really kind of are? And he like describes the horse as it has this long shaped head on top of a long neck that is thicker than the head. And he just describes it in very like, grotesque, if you think about it, a horse is kind of a strange thing. And he says it's better to think of something as foreign and like almost monstrous than to just like throw it off as like, whatever. This is just a normal thing here. Sure. The best thing, he said, is to think of it as like the traditional thing that you appreciate. But the second best is to view it as this magnificent, wonderful thing that you're just seeing for the first time. Right. And he says that both of those lead back to the same place. Because if he believes that if you view Christianity as this foreign thing, that you will see how wonderful it really is. And so that's kind of what he's trying to present in this book.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Cool. Have we consumed?
We did. Nom, 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 nom.
I want like this would be so gross. So I don't actually want this, but like a rumbling, like a stomach growling. The fact of like, we've
Winnie
consumed.
the Pooh kind of.
Yes, yes. Oh, see, Winnie the Pooh's not like gross. No. Winnie the Pooh's lovely. Yeah. Next is Struck by the Spirit. So this is all about what's God doing in your life right now?
Yeah.
What's he doing in your life right now, Nate?
Well, hopefully things all the time.
That's true. That's why we made this a segment, because we were like, we should always have an answer for this question, hopefully.
Maybe some weeks it'll be hard, but
yeah.
But something that came up in my reading and also Bible podcast is the part of the Gospels, both Matthew and Luke, where he talks about do not be anxious about anything. And I just want to read like the kind of the end of that and reflect a little on that. And he says, don't worry about your life because the ravens, the flowers, they got it good. So I'm going to take care of you too. And he says, and do not seek where you are to eat, what you are to drink, nor be worried. For all the nations of the world seek after these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Instead, seek his kingdom, and these things will be added to you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell your possessions and give to the needy. Provide yourselves with money bags that do not grow old, with a treasure in the heavens that does not fail, where no thief approaches and no moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And so I think there's some really lovely things there. I love the seek the kingdom. And then the paragraph right after that is, and don't worry. It's not so hard because God, the Father, really wants to give you the kingdom. And it's great. It's worth you giving up things. And something this kind of tied into something I was thinking of recently I have all these goals for 2026. Some like a lot of creative projects that I want to accomplish. But I was reminded that I can't let that be higher than specifically like what I have going with my family, with my wife and kids, and how that is a magnificent thing that I have, and that they need me to be on my game and being a positive presence in their life. And that is the more important, really, the kingdom thing. There's lots of kingdom things we should be seeking, but don't put like goals or money and stuff above those important things like family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a little thing from me.
Nice.
How about you? What's God saying to you?
Well, speaking of hard, sometimes where it's hard to pull these out, I'm starting the week with a doozy. I feel like I've alluded to it on the podcast before too, but life's just really chaotic and crazy right now. So I think there's just a lot of, I've kind of got my head down and I'm just barreling through, and I'm like, I know God's out there somewhere. He's doing something, but, you know, I don't know exactly what it is. I'm just sort of trusting that he's there. But I think lately he's been kind of bringing me back to the idea of seeking his kingdom first and making that the main thing.
That was mine.
That was what you said. I was just talking about Wake Up Dead Man, and there's a point in that, I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but the priest character's sort of wrestling with, at certain points, sort of getting pulled away from his calling, not even intentionally necessarily, but it's just happening because it's this crazy murder mystery. And there is one particular moment where it is like sort of this big, like, boom, remember your calling. And like the movie almost just stops for a minute for him to be a priest. And that's just sort of struck me. I just think I'm in a season of like rediscovering, like, oh yeah, I'm called to ministry in some way, and that means particular things about how I do what I do and the things that I'm pursuing and how much I'm doing and different things. So I feel like it's sort of the start of something, of just God sort of nudging me back in this direction of like, remember the call and remember what that's about, what it means to try and be someone who ministers to others, to be a part of the priesthood of believers, and then called in whatever particular way God's calling me, which I'm always sort of trying to figure out. But
you're awake to having that figured out for where you are now.
I think basically. So. Yeah, I think, and part of it is I just think the last 2 years have just been, there's been so many life things where I feel like I've kind of been in survival mode. Yeah. I think God's maybe pulling me out of that a little bit. I hope he is anyways. I'd like to be in
that
survival
would be nice,
mode.
Lord.
Yeah, Lord. Hint. If you watch the podcast or hear our prayers.
That would be cool if he watched the podcast.
He probably watches the podcast. But what would be more fun is if he, in his providence, made the view count go up by 1 every time that he watched the podcast. It's like, I want to make sure my view is counted.
He can do that.
He could. Maybe he does. Well, that'll be our first question for him in heaven.
Did you up our podcast count? You did, didn't you?
Did you watch it 3 times for each person?
3 times have I watched the podcast. 4 times I consumed it.
Very Hebrew poetry of you. Well done.
Hey there, folks. A little ad break here for you. Over here at Artists of the Way, during January and February, we have a fundraising campaign called the Fill the Stage campaign. And what?
I just realized you could do fundraising campaign. It's a fun fundraiser.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's
completely. I ruined your flow.
Yeah, you're. I've done it enough times to you.
See why this tells me to lift the flap. You just do your thing. I'm going to read.
Oh, I'll start over. Yeah, it's not that interesting.
But there's flap.
There's flap on every page. Hi, everyone. A little ad break for you here. Know how you love those. Here over at Artists of the Way, we are doing a fundraising campaign for January and February, and we're calling it the Fill the Stage campaign. This is so that we can make our next show, Bandstand, really happen. We need to raise money from people exactly like you, just like you. We're looking to raise $20,000 by the end of February. And we need your help. A little bit counts is what I hear. So give whatever you can. You can give more than a little bit. It's fine. But this is a show that we really believe in over here at Artists of the Way. It is a beautifully written, beautiful music show. It takes place just after World War II and has this great big band style music where the actors are actually playing the instruments on stage. It's a very happening right in front of you show, and it highlights the struggles that our veterans go through, different struggles for different individuals, and helps us think about this group of people with more empathy, and that they're really just humans who have gone through some really hard things and affects them differently. And this show helps to highlight that. So please help us make the show happen. It's going to be an awesome experience for you to see or for you to participate with, and as an actor or by helping us behind the scenes even. So go to our website and you can give there to the Fill the Stage campaign. As more people give, we're going to keep on filling in a little drawing of the stage is being filled with, oh, now we can buy these props. Now we can have this rehearsal space, and it will be a beautiful thing to behold. Thank you guys so much for your support. Now back to the show.
Cool. Shall we move on to our main topic?
Main topic.
Yum. I don't know. It sounded like Red Robin. Main topic. Yum. We'll find a catchy jingle somewhere in here.
Yeah.
It'll be several
new every week until it's good.
Yeah, until it's good. Once we've found it, comment and say,
"That's it,
boys! You found it!
You did it,
you
boys!"
Did it. Yes, wonderful. We're talking about and we're making a new one. Yes, we're talking a little bit about local art.
Yeah,
which I think is great. If you listen to our last episode, of course, this is a year we're really focusing on community.
Shrinking in
community.
on that.
What?
We're joinking in on that.
Yes, we're jumping in on community, and that fits really well with this topic. So you had suggested it. So you go first,
John,
Nate.
There are professionals out there on the coasts, New York, Los Angeles, where they probably some New Yorkers who still talk like New York and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And they make big art.
Big art.
Yeah.
Just to watch that podcast with the Australian guys.
Sometimes.
It's a big movie.
That's what made you say it. That's big movie.
Big movie. We're referencing another podcast that probably very few of our audience would enjoy, but has a similar rapport vibe to us.
And we aspire to their rapport.
We do.
So they make very professional art.
Yes.
Out there.
Yes.
Yonder.
Yes.
Maybe in Chicago too.
They do.
So why do bumpkins on the local scene? Why should there be local art? Why, I ask you? Why'd you start this organization?
We did that
Dave?
episode already. Are you asking me to, is this a rhetorical question or am I answering?
You're answering.
I'm answering? Well, I've given this some thought, Nate.
Good.
There's I was prepping and I was thinking about a book called Adorning the Dark by Andrew Peterson.
I bet that book's great.
It is great, and I think I'm due for a reread of it.
Oh.
But I was thinking about this, and pretty early on, he says, I don't like the term creative, which has, of course, become a very popular term to talk about artists. Right. I'm a creative. That's how I make my living. I'm on the internet. I'm creative. I'm writing something, or And he's like, I hate that term, creative, as sort of an adjective to describe yourself. Is that right? Noun? I don't remember. I'm horrible at grammar.
Yep. It's not adverb. It's adjective.
Cool. Because everybody is creative. I said this a little bit in the last episode. I was jumping ahead. But he's like, my wife.
I heard him say this on a podcast, I think.
Probably.
Or maybe it was you just talking about it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's entirely possible.
Yeah.
So if you've heard it before, I'm sorry. You can hit the skip 30-second button.
This will take only 30 seconds.
I'm going to talk so slowly. They'll have clicked the skip 30 seconds by now.
You'll still be
But I'll
talking
still
about
be talking about it. Mostly because I've made this joke to recognize it. Anyways. But yes, so he's like, my wife is not she doesn't create art, but she creates so many things, and she is so creative. I think that
he's drinking.
I am drinking. Sorry, badly timed drink for our audience.
What do you think?
I don't know. There is a level to which I think that it's not helpful for us to separate out artists and put them on this big pedestal.
Yeah.
And say if you're going to be an artist or somebody who creates, you have to do it on the big stage, big art,
Big art.
Big art. you have to, get somewhere with it or have achieved some notoriety. Our friend Jimmy Bennett, who did our lights for Godspell, is so creative.
Yeah.
And maybe now he would call himself an artist, but for a lot of life, he would not have called himself an artist.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm an engineer. But him being able to, in a local context, because of community, because he started doing theater because of Sam and I.
Sure.
He's only done lights and backstage things, but he started doing that because he was friends with my brother and I. And that opened up a new creative outlet that he loves. You'll see him on our social media soon. He's going to do one of those videos we're doing for Fill the Stage. Yes, he's going to talk about lights. And he's going to do a master art show that I'm not directing. And he's just found this love for it.
Nice.
And I think
guy.
he's great. And I think of people like that, where it's like you need this to be happening locally. There's just so much talent locally. And it's good for people to create. I think one of the things that I've been seeing online recently is how singing used to be so much more of a common thing. Like you'd have a piano in the living room, and the whole family would gather around the piano and they would all sing, and it didn't matter.
That's how you got music.
Yes, it didn't matter if they were good singers or not.
Yeah.
We were built to sing.
Yeah.
And then we've hit this age where it's a special skill and you have to do it well.
Are you a singer? Oh, yeah.
Right,
I'm not a singer.
Right. To the point where even people who have good voices might be like, I feel really uncomfortable singing in particular instances, or I'm maybe not confident in my singing ability. I think local art is one way in which we can just get back to the fact that at the end of the day, art is just us gathering around a campfire and banging out a tune on some bongos or creating a simple story.
Very primitive.
Right. I don't know. I think of I don't know. I'm seeing Cavemen or Return of the Jedi in my mind, but like I don't know. There's something about just the image of cavemen. Even if you were to think of the idea of humans being more primitive, we still commune in any version of humanity that you put in your brain, in reality or fictitious, or theoretical, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm getting lost in the weeds. Whatever image of humanity you have, we still always gather around and share with each other.
Yeah.
We create story, we create music, we share experiences, we share ourselves with each other.
Yeah.
We share beautiful things with each other. Everybody appreciates beauty in some way. Even if you're just, even if you picked the least artistically sensitive, if you were to get like a stereotypical trucker who's like
my dad.
I'm thinking even like, and then throw in a bunch of like redneck vibes, and just be like, I don't watch any movies except for like maybe Fast and the Furious and all that stuff. They probably still at least appreciate beauty in a person, at least in the person they married or in somebody. We just appreciate beauty to our core, or they'll love to see a great field.
I know I do.
I love a great field.
I do. Yeah.
I was looking at the snow and I was like, we have both a great foresty state and a tundra, and it's great. People just appreciate beauty, and we need contexts to be able to share that together and be active participants in sharing that.
Yeah. And there's something about happening live in front of you too, right? And like live art wouldn't be accessible unless there's local art,
Yeah.
right? Because we can't all just drive to Broadway or whatever.
Right. Well, and even then, Broadway's not necessarily accessible to New York. Like it's hugely expensive.
Yeah.
That's something I think theater organizations in particular have a lot of weight on their shoulders to figure out. And I'm thinking about it with Artists of the Way of how do we meet, whatever we need to meet for profitability, but also we need to make this accessible. As a theater community, we've got to talk about how are we making theater more accessible. I think there's more move to getting recorded shows, and that's all well and good. But the joy of theater, like you said, is being in the room with that person.
Yeah.
That's where the experience is shared as opposed to just consuming like we're talking about every week, Right.
And it's also like, I think God made us to live in a world, and I think we should get to live in a world.
Yeah.
And part of living in the world is all the elements of a world. And just because we're in this new modern connected internet age, which ironically is making us more unconnected because, these people over there are doing it and I can access them over there. Well, I'm not really with them, but we should have the ability, like Chesterton says in his cheese essay, where he talks about all these different little towns in England. They each have their own unique cheese. And it's just a so much more beautiful thing than having the corporate cheese that comes in cellophane packets. And that's the same with art. Like maybe an artist in a community knows more, even just intuitively, of what their community needs art-wise.
Well, and that's one of the...
And they can be shaped by each other, by that personal feedback.
And that's when I find, like, art that has, I don't know, activism or something behind it more compelling, is when it's not like, I'm trying to... Like, if I were to be like, I'm going to write some, big political thing with a bunch of senators and this and that, and like it could be good, sure, but if I were instead to say, no, I'm going to talk about how there's this struggle in my community and I want to write a story about that. Yeah. That's so much more powerful because I'm saying this is something I've either experienced or I know people who have experienced. And, if I were to write a general thing about homelessness in the country as opposed to writing what was my experience in Meltrotter with these people. Let's share some of these real stories.
It's that has a lot more power to it. Is broadly applicable.
Yes.
It's like when an artist writes about like, you don't know what they're talking about like in a song or whatever, but you know it's something personal to them. And it's so personal, they're not even using proper nouns.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, I relate to this song that I have no idea what it's talking about.
Right. But I know what it's talking about for me.
I know. Yeah.
It's great. I wonder, what do I wonder? I had a half-baked thought and then it dissolved into the air.
Oh, no.
I know. There's just... I think we can look down on local arts. I think we can look down on community theater. I think we can look down on self-published books and garage bands and, like local galleries and all this stuff and just be like, well, how grand is this when I could go to the Chicago Art Museum or I could go to New York and see theater or I could, go watch an Oscar-winning film or I could listen to 21 Pilots' most recent album. And it's not that those things are bad or lack worth, but there is just there's something about the local place in which we were put that is powerful. And everybody has something to share and deserves a space to be able to share that in community.
And I think, though, this is a good message for me to hear as an artist that is enough.
Yeah.
Because I think often artists, I know I do, like have like these aspirations for being known. And which is such a, when you like say it out loud, it's like, that's such a dumb, like not kingdom thing there. And so I really want God to take that from my heart. We want to, one of our goals for this year is to publish the book Ellie wrote, the children's book, and then that I'm illustrating. And the other day she used to be like, is it good? And I knew that like she hadn't read it for a long time. And so I got out, here, like, want me to read it to you? And so I got out the version that has most of the illustrations done on my computer, and and the boys were there, little boys, and I read it to Barron, and he was like into it, and he kept on wanted to see the bear. Can I see the bear? And afterwards he was like all like jazzed about it, and it was something that his mom and dad made.
Yeah.
And I think that's really precious, and that can be a precious thing to him growing up too. And maybe it's okay if not many people see it, but like if my mom wrote a book like that, that would be so precious to me. And that's the kind of kingdom thing that we were talking about earlier. Don't seek after the things the world seeks after, but the eternal things, and the eternal things that God has given us is the people that we have here with us.
Right in front of us.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like thinking about it with more of a small business mentality as opposed to like an entrepreneurial one, of like a small local like corner shop that's been here for 100 years. And it's been here for 100 years, not because it's made headlines and blown up, but just because it's been there for people.
Yeah.
And it's made connections.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope the things that I create and build turn into.
Yeah.
Sure, it'd be great. I was lulling myself to sleep last night thinking about, I could do a whole run on Captain America. I have 2 story arcs, and it'd be so cool to get to that point. But really, what does that really matter? How is it better to be doing something like that on such a grand scale as opposed to just writing the novel that I'm writing that hopefully a handful of people will read and appreciate, and maybe it will mean something too.
Yeah.
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 Any other thoughts you have on local art?
I probably did. They're there once, maybe. But no, this has been lovely, though, and a good reminder to me of the importance of, like we said, doing it for the people you're with.
Yeah. Before we jump to our very final topic, I just want to throw out there to you guys, share with us some of your local artists or favorite experiences creating local art. What does local art mean to you? What does it mean to be part of a local community of artists? If you don't have that, what do you wish you had in a local community of artists? Share that with us. We'd love to read them. Maybe we'll read some out on the next episode.
That'd be cool.
Nate.
Yes.
We are enshrining in the structure.
The structure.
We are enshrining into it rapid fire questions, which you threw out there. Let's each ask each other 2 rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. All right.
You're gonna need to give me a random number because you have a list of questions here.
That number is 2.
The second question.
All
right, Nave. What big thrill experience is on your bucket list?
Probably a big backpacking trip, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that would be considered a big thrill experience. For a minute, I was like skydiving, but I don't think I could do skydiving.
You don't want to do it?
I just am too scared the chute wouldn't work.
It'd be so bad.
That would be really bad. Though maybe I'd survive. People have survived that before.
It's crazy.
I know.
How do they? How?
The human body is insanely strong and insanely fragile at the same time, and it's hilarious. It's like it can do that and survive, but then it might trip down a couple stairs. And
right. I feel like in the TV show, mystery shows, like a trip down the stairs is an insta kill.
It can be fatal. That's what killed Bruce Lee.
Is it?
Yeah, he tripped down some stairs and bruised his brain, and it was sad. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean like an intense backpacking trip.
Yeah.
Like, I mean like I want to backpack through New Zealand, or I want to.
Yeah.
Shay and I have talked for a long time. We'd love to take a month or 2 and just backpack from Ireland to Italy. So go from Ireland to England, through France and into Italy, and just stay at some hostels, do some buses. Yeah, I mean, we'd catch some buses here and there too, but I think you can't. I'm pretty sure we've looked into it. I mean, Europe is not nearly as big as
Michigan.
America. I mean, yeah, even Michigan. Like England to France is like all of Michigan. Like it's quite small.
That's crazy.
So
yeah.
that's something, but I would
I love that.
I would find that thrilling.
That would be thrilling.
Yeah. All right.
Walking.
I think walking is great. Don't bash walking.
I like it too.
All right. Nate, you're getting the 10th question.
10th, this is the last one written.
This is, though, if you join the Patreon, for the $5 tier, you can add some quick random.
It's a growing
quick
list.
fire questions. Yes, so it can be a growing list. What is the most important way in which your wife has affected you? That's a meaty one.
Yeah. Who wrote that question?
Not me.
It's me.
Yep.
I think being married to Ellie has been a very personally growing experience in that, like, there's been like things that have just been like in the background, or sometimes not so in the background, things to me that just have always been there in like kind of a negative way that like you chalk up to personality traits but that are struggles, and her helping to like call out what's actually true, and you don't need to think through things this way, and you don't need to live that way. So having a person lovingly be like, that's not good, and there's so much better for you, and which can be hard to go through that process, and like also in marriage, like those things matter more than they ever did before.
Yes.
They affect someone else, which is a shame.
I know. Why can't I just have my private little hang-ups?
Yeah. But it's like, even though it's hard to work through those, it's like, but I'm growing and I'm learning in ways that I never had before. And through a person that really loves you is a blessing.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Good answer.
What's the next number?
I'm moving down the list. Number 3.
Number 3. Okay. What art discipline would you most like to be suddenly good at?
Oh, I think painting. Because I used to love to do film, and I think the visual artist in me is still very much alive, but I don't think it really has a medium.
You don't have much of an outlet of that, do you?
I don't, but I love composition.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so I would just love to be able to paint. There's so many scenes from stories or from shows that I can see in my mind that I would love to paint and play with the lighting and the movement. I would love it, but I just don't think that I have that skill, and my hands are too shaky. I just don't think it's in me. I can do an okay sketch, but my people are always a little janky.
You know, my people are a bit janky too. Sometimes you just have to own things as your style.
Fair.
You know, something I love about Charles Schultz's art and Peanuts is that if you like zoom in on the lines, there's like a little shake to them. And it's a very distinctive look.
Yeah.
And I think he had like this little shake in his hand, but it made for like a beautiful, distinctive thing. So you could own that.
I could. Yeah. It's something I've thought about trying to play around with more. I think I have a canvas somewhere. There's a particular scene in my books. There's a couple scenes in my book that I'd love to paint, because I just think the landscape that I see in my mind is really beautiful. I don't know if I've captured it with my prose yet. One in particular where the light, like what I can see in my brain, if I could translate it, I think would be breathtaking. But I don't know if I've done that with my prose yet. I hope I have. But I definitely am not at the point as an artist to be able to capture it. But I would love to. I would really enjoy being good at painting.
It'd be awesome. I'd love to see you try.
Thank you. Let's do one more. Number 8. What 3 phrases / sentences encompass your core personal missions as a person? You're just getting all the deep, heavy hitters.
Oh man. I am. Oh, okay.
You can do this. I believe in you.
Okay. With a chorus disclaimer, maybe this isn't going to be the perfect answer.
Sure.
Yeah.
We can ask this question again.
Yeah. Okay. The 3 phrases that define like your mission as a person. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say, I'm thinking of this as I think of it. I thought a little bit earlier. Know God's love. Love others well. Create beautiful things. I'm gonna go with that.
I love that. That's great.
Is that good?
I think that's great.
Should I do it?
You should do it. That should be your thing.
Okay.
I love it. Cool. This is the new podcast format.
What do
we
you
hope
think?
you enjoyed it. Yeah, let us know what you think. We would love to hear what you think. If
Yeah.
you think this is trash, tell us and we'll weep to each other.
Yep. Then we'll change.
Yeah, we'll change for you.
We'll change for you. We can. We can
do it. If you guys enjoy the podcast, please share it with your friends. Leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice because we are desperate for approval or disapproval. And also it does help with the algorithm if there's reviews. It helps.
Don't make us just logo art. Come on, please.
Yes, help us with engagement. It just helps people see it more and not The Artist's Way by Julie Cameron.
Down with her.
Not down with her, just level her to us.
Up to her.
Wait, but does that mean
Bring us
then we're
up
trying
to
to
her.
not be local because she's not local? I'm really.
Don't share. Don't
I'm
share.
just
Keep
ignoring-
us humble. Keep us humble.
But yes, those things are very helpful. We would love to hear your feedback. Tell us about the local art things that I asked about earlier.
Yeah.
It would be great. You guys are such an important part. I looked as if there was a third camera and there's not. I'm still getting used to our new camera setup. You guys.
I'm going to turn to the people in the corner.
But you guys are such an important part of Artists of the Way. We are so appreciative of you guys for tuning in every week. We're so glad you're a part of this community. Go check out our Patreon. Join for free. Become a part of the conversation. Read the blog post. Read the weekly discussions and talk with us.
Be public with content.
Yeah! We're excited. It's going to be great. It's going to be really fun. I think that's everything, and I have no elegant way to end this. So.
Fist bump.
Yeah!